Hey, what is going on, guys? RvzStealth here, and in today's video we're going to be breaking down the S tier champions for every single role for patch 9.14. And just a few quick announcements before we get started here, guys. I did just make an Instagram account recently, so be sure to go give me a follow on there if you haven't already. I'm also going to be giving away the new Cassia skin on my Discord, on my stream, and also on Twitter. So if you'd like a chance to win one of the new Cassia skins with the exclusive green league partner Chroma, then you can check out either one of those three. I should be streaming on Twitch as this video does go live, so if you want to go give me a follow over there, or if you want to come catch the stream, then be sure to do so. But with that being said, guys, let's get started. All right, so to kick it off in the top lane, we have a couple newcomers in this patch. Kled, Renekton, and Cassia are all making their way up into S tier. So Kled, definitely do not sleep on him for 9.14. I think Kled here is going to be one of the best, if not the best, top laners now. The change he got in this patch was to his Q, to where when he does pull an opponent in, it's going to reduce the healing that they get by 60% for 5 seconds. So this just makes Kled's matchups that he would struggle with previously, or matchups that he would go even with, a lot better now. So for example here, a lot of matchups that are going to get a lot better for Kled include Nasus, Aatrox, Darius, Renekton, Gangplank, Vladimir, Alawi. The list just goes on and on. So many different top laners have some sort of healing built into their kit, or they have healing with Conquer. So the fact that Kled now has this ability on his Q just makes his laning phase a lot stronger, and it makes his matchups much better here for this patch. For Renekton, he now has the shield breaking mechanic in his W, to where if the opponent has a shield or uses a shield and you use your empowered W on it, it's going to automatically break the shield. So this does make a couple of matchups better for Renekton in the top lane. Riven, Camille, Poppy, Tom Kench are a few that will get better for Renekton in 9.14. And I think that Renekton, he was definitely on the verge of S tier in previous patches. He's been getting a couple of changes over the past few months, and with other top laners getting nerfed, Renekton finally does move into S tier now with a change to his W in this patch. And then for Cassia, I don't expect a ton of people to pick her up in this patch. I expect her to remain a very sleeper OP pick, but Cassia top lane got a lot stronger here due to the W and to the E changes as well. The fact you can now use your W at any range, and there's not a fixed range on it, a fixed minimum range, it just makes it so that if a champion, say like Jax, jumps on top of you, you throw your W down, use your Q, use your E, instant phase rush proc, and you just kite away. It's going to be very, very difficult now for champions to actually get on top of Cassia and burst her out, because especially once they use their gap close onto Cassia, if they don't end up chunking her out, Cassia is just going to kite away, turn back onto you, deal a lot of consistent poke damage, consistent DPS in the laning phase. And Cassia's matchups up against melee top laners are already pretty good, and they've already been solid in previous patches, and the fact that her W did get that change in this patch makes them even stronger. And then for Riven, Darius, Jax, and Mordekaiser, they're all staying S tier for another patch. So Mordekaiser, he did get a couple of nerfs in this patch, and I do think he's still holding on to S tier though. He's on the verge of dropping down into A tier, but I think that he's still a solid pick. I would say he's like in the lower S tier now, so I would probably prioritize the other champions here in this list above Mordekaiser, but I do still think he's a great pick to carry with in solo queue. Now, if we take a look at the jungle, even though 9.14 overall was one of the largest patches of the season, there weren't really any changes to the jungle specifically that would shake up the S tier, so it's going to be staying exactly as to where it was in 9.13. You have Hecarim remaining as the strongest jungler, at least in my opinion. If you're looking for a very strong hard carry, solo carry jungler for this patch, then Hecarim is going to be the go-to pick. If you're looking for an AP jungler to add into your champion pool, then Elise and Evelyn are both very good options. Jarvan is going to be a great consistent jungle pick right now. Jarvan you can pretty much throw into any team comp, and he is going to be a great addition. Vi and Nunu are also great picks right now. They've stayed very strong picks for multiple months in a row. If you are looking for that very good utility tank jungler, then Nunu is definitely going to be the best option for another patch. Moving on to the mid lane, we do have a couple of newcomers. Katarina, Fizz, and Cassiopeia are going to be jumping up into S tier. For Katarina, she got a buff to her ultimate to where it's now going to inflict 60% healing reduction instead of 40% when she does use it. So Katarina was a champion in previous patches that was very close to S tier, and with this change here, it was enough finally to jump her up into S tier for 9.14. As for Fizz, he got a really nice change to his passive in this patch to where he is now going to be reducing damage from all sources instead of just from auto attack. So even though the percent of damage he's going to be reducing is lower, the fact that he does reduce it from all sources now does make it a little bit stronger in this patch, and this is also a change that is enough to jump Fizz up into S tier. He's similar to Katarina in the sense that in previous patches he was super close, so he just needed that small change and he got it in this patch. So I do think both Fizz and Katarina are now the go-to assassin picks for 9.14. For Cassiopeia, we already touched on her a little bit earlier. She is also a great pick for the mid lane right now, and definitely do not sleep on this pick for 9.14. Ahri and Malzahar have been S tier for multiple patches in a row, and they are staying S tier for 9.14. Zed is still going to be your best AD assassin, and then as for Rumble, he is still going to be the most sleeper OP mid laner for another patch. I'm not too sure as to why people really aren't picking up Rumble at all for solo queue, but if you're looking for an early game stomp champion, if you just want to win lane and you want to snowball the lane out of control, then Rumble is going to be the best pick. He doesn't really have any bad matchups in the mid lane. He's going to be able to get priority in pretty much every single matchup. You're going to get first blood in a lot of your games with Rumble, and you can really just take over in the early to mid game. So if you haven't picked up Rumble yet, I would definitely recommend it. Alright, so moving down to the bot lane now, we do have two newcomers for AD carry, being Jhin and Ashe. So Jhin did receive 2 direct buffs to his W. The cooldown on his W is going to be down by 2 seconds. The root duration is up by 0.25 seconds at all ranks. And even though 0.25 seconds on paper doesn't really seem very big, there's going to be a lot of different situations to where that 0.25 seconds does make the difference for you to be able to chain CC abilities. Say for example, you're playing with someone like a Leona down in the bot lane. If you get the root from your W off, that extra 0.25 seconds gives the Leona more time to react with her ultimate or to react with her E. A lot of situations you would have with Jhin to where you would root the opponent with your W, and right after that they just flash away and your teammate wouldn't be able to react in time to chain the CC. So I really think this change is a little bit bigger than some people would make it out to be, and Jhin, in my opinion, is now an S tier AD carry for 9.14. And then as for Ashe, she did get a buff a few patches ago to her W to where the cooldown did get reduced by 1 second, I'm pretty sure it was, at all ranks. And then people have now been going for this new build setup on Ashe to where you just go for a very CDR heavy build. You go for Essence Reaver into Trinity Force, then either IE or Runins as your third item. So with this build setup, it just puts your W on a very short cooldown. It allows you to spam out your W, proc Comet for that extra poke damage. You're poking the laning phase with Ashe with this setup is really good. It also allows you to get way more ultimates off. Your ultimate is on a super short cooldown, so whenever that's up, you could just be looking for picks. In solo queue, players are always going to be out of position. They're going to be in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So with Ashe's ultimate, with this build setup on a much shorter cooldown, you can look to punish that a lot more often. And then as for the other champions in the S tier there, Sivir, Jinx, Xayah, Kai'Sa, and Caitlyn, really nothing new to say about them for 9.14. They are still great picks, so if you do like playing any of those AD carries, then they are going to be great picks to climb with for 9.14. And then last but definitely not least, to round out the video, for support we do have Pyke, Blitzcrank, and Morgana moving up into S tier. So for Pyke, he got a great change to his ultimate to where he's now going to be gaining just a lot more gold whenever he is getting kills with his ultimate or even assists with his ultimate. The amount of gold that you do generate now with Pyke in this patch is going to allow him to snowball the early game really hard if he does get ahead. So if you can play Pyke well and you can get a snowball going, then you are going to snowball extremely hard with these new changes. As for Blitzcrank, he got a great change to his ultimate to where it is now going to have that shield breaking ability similar to Renekton. So if you're playing up against a support like a Janna or a Lulu, for example, and you do hook them in, or if you hook the AD carry in and they try to shield their AD carry, then you're just gonna be able to break that right away. It's gonna allow you to all in a lot better at level 6, and it just makes your ability to burst someone out when you do hook them a lot better. And then for Morgana, she is going to be moving up into S tier as an answer to these more aggressive CC hook support. So Thresh, Blitz, Nautilus, and Pyke are all going to be played a ton right now in 9.14. Pyke right now has like a 20% pick rate, Thresh around 10 to 20%, Nautilus also 10%, Blitz 10% as well. So these 4 supports make up around like 50% of the supports being played in 9.14, and Morgana is a great answer to pretty much all of them. If you can use your Black Shield correctly, then you are going to have a great time against these supports as Morgana, and you're definitely going to be able to limit what they can do in the laning phase and throughout the game as well. So that is going to be all for the video, guys. This was definitely one of the bigger patches we've had all season long, so hopefully this video does help you out. Hopefully the video does keep you up with how the meta is shaping out right now in 9.14 and which champions you should be looking to prioritize. So that being said, if you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you have yet to already. So thanks for watching, have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video.